As a member of the village, we pledge to be an indestructible force of change in our community. We promise to respect, care for, and help others in our community, and most of all, ourselves. We will raise the standard of integrity and courage within our community at all times.
Hi, this is Pinky. First of all, I want to thank everyone for viewing. I want to thank you for hearing my heart. I want to thank you for truly taking the time to pay attention to the issues. I want to definitely follow up, and I apologize for taking so long, but I want to make sure that I'm coming out of the right spirit and I'm coming with proper information and not just here to entertain. So to follow up with the Historic Board and what has been going on, the main thing, I was going to play the other tapes, but I chose not to play the other tapes at this point because I want to make sure the community has a full understanding of how we're moving forward and what the purpose of that conversation was. Mr. Zach Lilly does not just represent himself, but he represents a lot of different mindsets in our community. That's what the main issue is. It's plenty of us that go to work every single day and have to deal with the same type of disrespectful rhetoric and conversation from our employers, from the people we work with, because of the subconscious biasness that's going on in their minds. What we have to understand is if we nationally see our president being disrespectful and out of order, if we see things taking place nationally, we have to understand they're happening locally. So the mayor is our local Donald Trump. The boards are our local Republicans that are spewing this rhetoric of discrimination. So what we have to understand is that a lot of times more men judge more by the eye than they do by the hand. Because everyone can see who you are, but not many can feel who you are. So everyone sees what you appear to be, but few really know what you are. And that is the thing as people. We have to be able to feel with our hearts who these people really are. We can see they're out here, you know, giving away book bags and having donuts with dads and community cares. That's what they show you for a purpose. And if I have to keep putting it in your face of what I'm doing, obviously that's not who I am. That's propaganda. So we have to focus on why are these people pushing an agenda to prove they're community leaders, to prove that they're righteous people. You don't have to prove that. You just are that. So as a community, we have to understand that our voice is powerful because we elect people. We have the opportunity to choose who leads us. And when we're looking at it from that perspective, what's going on with the Historic Board is nothing but a macrocosm of the microcosm. It's a small piece of a big situation. And it's here to awaken us to start doing something more. What we have to understand is that it's not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. So when you see people in our community who are pushing people like Mr. Lilly, pushing people like Ms. McMillan, pushing the mayor, we have to say, are we truly honoring, do they deserve that title? And we have to make a decision about who deserves that title, who should we be putting in those positions who are going to stand up and be righteous for us. So I don't want us to get confused and think that this is one little situation. This is not one little situation. This is the lawlessness that is going on across our country. And it's happening everywhere, all across North Carolina. And what we have to understand in Goldsboro, North Carolina, we need to stand up. We need to start taking action against these things. And I don't mean by fighting, because what most people don't understand, discipline does more than fury. So if we get ourselves disciplined as a people and begin to go out and vote, show up consistently to the meetings, make sure that we're doing the right things, those are the things that are going to change. So we have to truly understand the art of war, because we're in a war right now and it's a mental war. So we want to focus on those things, and we want to focus on how we want to move forward. Now we do want to show up to the meetings. The next historical board meeting will be Wednesday, September 5th at 5:30 in the ante room of City Hall. And that's when you're going up to City Council, that little conference room off to the side. You can go in there at 5:30. Now we want to come in solidarity, to listen, to see the behavior of those around you. If you would like to make a comment, what we are calling for and we're asking the community to demand of their councilman is an outside investigation body to come investigate the historic board, and not just the historic board, but all boards, because we're looking at a situation where we have terms on our boards, but if you know, Mr. Foster had just brought up the review of the boards. That's how we actually got on the boards, because they finally did something, because Mr. Foster had been bringing this up constantly and consistently, that you have people who have been on these boards for 5-10 years. You have people who pretty much thought it was their board and that could just be up there. So, and we just got actually some African American representation. But besides that, we need representation for all people. Where's our Asian community? Where's our Hispanic community represented in our city in true diversity? And I'm saying that because we are all inclusive, but because we, as this color people, are the majority in this city, it's very disheartening to see us not be in any positions. So the proportional rate is just out of order. It's just totally out of order, because for us to be the majority, there's no way, shape, form, or fashion we shouldn't be the majority on those boards, or at least be on those boards. So we're calling for the community to send your councilman an email, send your councilman a letter, call your councilman, show up to the meetings and say, I do want to request that we have an outside investigation body come in and investigate Goldsboro's commissions and boards, because we don't feel like they're being ethically and morally ran. And that's something that we have to do. And the reason why they've gotten away with it so long is because we haven't said anything. But that's because we've been trusting people to be our community leaders who are not community leaders. They are personal interest people. They are here for their personal gain. And they tell the people and the mayor and everybody else, here, you can throw them a few little crumbs and they'll be okay. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm hungry. I don't want any crumbs. I want what we are rightly deserving of. We need to be in a position to where we can be on those boards, where we can be on those councils to make sure the proper policies and regulations are being put out for our city. That is the issue here. And the fact that so many of you are appalled that this happened means that they have definitely fooled you. Because if you know the heart of a man, you can understand some things. So let's look at our meeting dates that we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on Wednesday, September 5th at 5:30, coming to the historical board meeting and requesting an outside investigation, and just being there for the sake of showing support of your city and listening to see what's really going on instead of going off gossip and hearsay. Tuesday, September 4th, we actually have city council meeting that afternoon, 5:30. 5 o'clock is the work session. We need to be there, because during those conversations, you need to sit there and listen and see how your councilmen react to the questions, how they interact with each other. You need to feel their spirit of a man, because they're showing us a lot of stuff, but who are they really? 7 o'clock, we need to definitely show up to the city council meetings and definitely voice our opinion that we would like an outside investigation body to investigate all historic commissions and boards because of the unethical behavior. So we are looking at a situation where, like I said before, on our boards, the majority of the people up there have been up there for years. A lot of them had just been on the boards, and it's not fair, because with all the people in this city, it should be a constant rotation of ideas, a constant rotation of fresh new ideas and new implementations to improve our city. And because we have not spoken up, that has not happened. So we want to, in solidarity, we fight better with our minds. Your fury, discipline. So we're going to be disciplined, and we're going to take the time to write emails. We're going to take the time to make phone calls. We're going to take the time to take the proper path of righteousness before we have to ensue in anything further. So let's be strategic in our planning. Let's be strategic in our moving. This is not time for us to get up because you've seen on TV how Ferguson and all them acts and you ready to go rally and run the streets. No, thank you. That ain't solving nothing either, okay? We have to be strategic at this time and be disciplined and focused in our actions. So what we are going to do, we are going to show up and we're going to let people know we are watching, we are listening, and it's not okay. We don't have to yell, scream, fuss, or fight. We just simply state, we simply email, and we keep our paper trail. We keep a documentation of everything that we're doing. And I'm just going to give you a small example of something. Now, Miss Judith McMillan, actually, She's funding a mentor program right now. She's helping be a part of that on the board. Well, when my children were going out helping pass out election information for Mr. Antonio Williams, asking to register people to vote, as a part of training our children in the community to be politically aware, to understand how to bring power into their community, our children actually went to her door to advertise. She cursed my children out. I mean, cursed them out bad. And then my children went, Mom, that lady was cursing at us. She da-da-da-da. So, how can she curse people out in the street, but then she wants to mentor your children in a newspaper? See, we got to take a stand. You can no longer come in our neighborhoods and treat us like crap, but then in front of people, you stand up tall and you're for the community, and I love little black children. Well, obviously you don't love them enough, because when they came to your home being politically aware, you didn't like that. You didn't like them coming to your door, and you cursed them out. And my daughter was probably 11, 12, 13. This was 2015. So
12, 13.
Yeah, I finna say, and it was 2 children, and I mean, she lividly cursed them out. So if this woman is gonna curse my children out for being politically aware, but then she wants to fund a mentor program, I'm sorry, but the wealth of your heart means more to me than the cash in your hand. Because we've paid people off thousands of times to do things, but it's the wealth of your heart that changes things. So that's why we see no change in our community, because people keep going like this, but nobody's going here. And that's a problem for me. Religion. Let's talk about the definition of that word. Religion is not going to church. Religion is something habitual. Religion is a ritual. So I am not a religious person, and religion is what's killing our community, because we want to be a part of stuff because it is ritual, because it is the habit. It's what I'm used to. I gotta go to church on Sunday. I gotta vote with these people because those are my friends. I gotta do this, and it's corruption and foolishness all the way across the board, because when are people going to check your heart? So, like I say, when you look at our mayor, I apologize. He has no integrity. That man pulled up on me at a store and tells me not to say anything, and then try to put a lie in my head. This is not about Mr. Antonio Williams and Zach. It is not. You made it about Mr. Antonio Williams and Zach because you want to put our black councilmen in a position to where they can no longer help our community. And that is not okay. So when you're looking at him coming to me, and then he tells me, well, you're right, Pinky. I do think that he should resign or he should be removed. But I want y'all to look at the city council video when they asked for him to be removed. How did Mr. Allen vote? He voted with his friends. He voted with his religion. He voted with his habit. He voted with his ritual. He didn't vote from his heart and doing the right thing. So I can no longer trust that man as a leader in my community. First of all, I lead myself, as all of you should. You should think for yourself and not allow people to push propaganda into your atmosphere to change your minds from what you see and you feel is happening. That's the gift of black people. We feel stuff. You be like, I don't know, but I just feel. Go with your feeling. That's the gift God gave you. God gave Asian people the gift of logistics. They gave, Caucasian people the gift of disseminating information and separating everything. And they gave us the gift of connecting everything. And we need to connect the dots here. And connect what you feel in your heart. It's not okay. Even with the W.A. Foster Center, we're making a big deal out of it. But that building is a historic building. Why didn't our historic board deem that historic? That was built in 1921. It was one of the first federal buildings built for our community, because after Reconstruction, they went all across the country building places to give back to the black community, so-called, so they would have a place to be. So why was that building ever dilapidated? Why did that building ever get messed up? See, they want to act like they're doing something for you now. But they should have done something 20 years ago. The building should have never got messed up. It should have never been out of order. So don't go for the hype. Don't go for the hype here. Because that building should be preserved. Why wasn't it preserved? I guess because it was for black people. I guess because it wasn't in their downtown historic district. So now we're looking at, the building is up, but it should have been up. It should have been up. And do you know who fought for that building? Miss Cheryl Austin fought for that building for a long time to keep it up, because they were going to tear it down. Do you understand? They were going to tear it down. But then she had to put in the application just to be a part of the building. Are you serious? That's a given. Where is your heart? This woman fought for that building. If it weren't for her, it wouldn't even be standing. And people in our community don't even understand what's really happening because it's all about this money. No thank you. No thank you. That's not okay. So we're definitely going to show up to these meetings in solidarity. We're definitely going to show up and begin to plan, plot, strategize as a community to start doing things that will be effective. Because we have enough ineffective people in our community. Enough ineffective so-called leaders. Because to lead, you first must know how to follow. And if you can't follow the hearts of the people, then you cannot be a leader. We are also focusing on, I'm going to repost, there's a petition that we started. Ms. LaShonda Perkins has posted it several times. And this actually goes with the Red event. If you did not show up to the Red event, if you were not a part of that, but if you are a teacher, we need you to sign this petition online. The county commissioners meetings are at 9 o'clock in the morning. Why do they need to be changed? Because they're taking away your voice. When you have a meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, who can get there? All the teachers are at school. All the people who work and register voters don't have an availability to get there. Now, we saw how Southern Wayne came together and got to that county commissioners meeting. They got classrooms and they got stuff. Well, if we could change the meeting time to start off with, we might could get there. Now, do you know that our county is the only county out of about 50 counties in eastern North Carolina that still has their meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning? Everybody else has them in the evening so registered voters can actually get to the meetings. So this is another tactic to keep your voice unheard, that to have private meetings in their own time so they don't have to hear your voice and you have to go out of your way to get there. Well, that needs to change. You need to make it convenient for the community to be able to get there and speak their opinion and voice their opinion on a regular, consistent basis. So I need you to, not I need you, we need you. The whole community needs you to sign this petition. We plan on going to the county commissioners this month to present the information. We have about 260 signatures at this point. We need at the least 500. And please, everyone who watches this video, whether you live here or not, sign the petition. Because if you're a resident or you used to live here, it matters. We need to, the county commissioners controls our education budget. They control a lot of stuff in the city. So while we want to go to city council and complain all the time, we need to be going to the county commissioners. But if the meeting is at a time where you cannot get there, what are you going to do? So let's first things first. Small steps equal big strides. So we have to be patient and we have to be long-suffering and understanding. Take this first step so we can go and ask for money for our education. So we can go and fight for more funding for our businesses, for our industry. We need to be able to step up and speak. And we need to start paying attention to new things in our community. Now, those meetings are first and third Tuesdays, and because of the holiday, it's still going to be September 4th at 9 a.m. and we do plan to attend that meeting. So please push this petition, share this petition, please sign, because it's time out for complaining, people. We have got to stop gossiping in our communities and sitting around talking about stuff. Thomas Edison said the value of an idea lies in the using of it. The value of an idea lies in the using of it. So you have 1,000 ideas out there. We need them to be used. We need them to be pushed. And we are still pushing for an investigation of the historic board and all boards. So if you do choose to come to this city council meeting, we want you to be able to stand up and speak and say, oh, we do want an outside investigation. We're not saying anybody's guilty of anything yet. But if you won't investigate it, that means you have something to hide. And we are looking for transparency 100% in this situation. We are looking for not whose side are you on, because it's not a who, it's an issue. It's a right and a wrong. It's not about Pinky and it's not about Chuck Allen. It is about what's righteous and what's not. That man lied to me. He said, I believe that man should be removed. I believe he should resign. And when it came time to vote, he voted the opposite way. He lied. Our leaders or so-called leaders should not lie for their own personal gain and their own personal ritual. That's not okay. Why was it deemed okay for Mr. Aycock to scream and holler at Ms. Kivanya because he was upset, but then dare not do that? Like, our leader did not correct him. It's time for our real men in our community to step up and be the men they're supposed to be. And I understand that the people who are discriminating are fearful. So we don't judge them. We don't look at them with hatred, because the opposite of love is fear. So their hatred comes from their fear. And that's what we have to understand. There's no point in trying to hurt them more because they're already scared. They're scared of what we can do. I don't know if y'all heard a Nas song. I think they're scared of us. They're scared of us. They're scared of not us, but what we can create, what we can do. But we have to keep our hearts righteous, because I never have any intentions of hurting anyone. No matter how much Mr. Zach Lilly lies on me, no matter how much Mr. Chuck Allen says stuff about me, you know how much Judith McMillan cusses out children, I don't hate them. I sincerely don't. I sincerely pray for them to see what's righteous. And prayer is self-taught. Prayer is putting things into the atmosphere, because I'm not going to get too deep with you, but that'll be a whole nother lesson, because that's one of the things people perish for lack of knowledge. God spoke the world into existence. If God is inside of me every time I speak, we create. When you don't speak in your community, you're allowing them to create their narrative. You're allowing them to create the community we live in. So I need everyone with God in their heart to speak our kingdom into existence, to speak our freedom into existence, to speak righteousness into existence, because it's time out for all this other stuff. So what we want to focus on is plan, plot, strategizing, and organizing in an organized manner, because war creates thieves, peace hangs them. I'm going to be peace. I'm going to be peace, and I'm going to move in peace. And we're going to take every little piece, one piece at a time, and we're going to turn it into something bigger. And our community is going to change. We are going to have the jobs we need. People will be vital and happy. So let's recap. We need you to sign that county commissioner's meeting dates. That's the beginning, okay? That's the very beginning. Sign the petition, please. It will be posted below. Share it, sign it, please. Very, very vitally important. Tuesday, 9 a.m., county commissioners. They're in the courthouse, 3rd floor. Okay? There's a sign that'll say commissioner's room. You can go right in there and have a seat. If you choose to speak, I think it's deplorable that we don't have a meeting time that's accessible to the citizens of our community. The majority of our citizens are working citizens that cannot get to these meetings at 9 a.m. We're requesting that you make it at a time to where we can be more active in our community, period. Tuesday at 5 o'clock, we need to be at the work session of the city council so we can listen and support our councilmen, Mr. Antonio Wills and Mr. Bevan Foster, who are fighting for righteous change and been fighting for righteous change harder than you even understand. And they're not in the newspaper and everywhere all the time, but you don't see the fight, so therefore you don't know the fight. But we got to focus that they're always fighting, just like you're fighting day to day to survive, to make it happen. The 7 o'clock meeting, we do want people to come and request and let the city council know. We do want an outside investigation body, because we do not trust them to investigate themselves. At this time, if the historic board was to investigate itself, we'd lose. I have voting powers, Mr. Joshua has voting powers, but then there's Ms. McMillan, Mr. Zach Lilly, Mr. Wally Leonard, Mr. Jay Bauer. So who's going to win? There's no competition there. So we need an outside investigation body to come in to make sure it's fair, because I don't want anybody to think that we're doing something because of personal interest. It's never about that. But we got to start feeling the hearts of our leaders. We have to start paying attention to their hearts and stop looking at the propaganda. Stop looking at every Facebook post. Oh, look, I got donuts. Oh, look, I got book bags. Oh, look, I'm doing this. Oh, look, I'm doing that. But what you do at home? What you do when you leave there? What do you say about people? Where's your heart at? So when you got to put yourself in the paper all the time, that's propaganda. And anybody knows their black history, you know propaganda. American history, you know propaganda. That's what they do. They advertise and push a thought into your head, and before you know it, you believe it, and you forget to feel with your heart. Wake up, people. Wake up. Feel with your heart. And we are going to focus on moving strategically. So I'm asking anyone who, if you are serious about wanting to know the intricate strategic plan, if you are serious about moving in a truly revolutionary manner and fashion, you need to inbox me your email address and your phone number. I will not be giving out all the information on Facebook. Unacceptable. That's not how we move in true leadership of taking something to the next level. You don't tell everybody everything. So if you have a true heart for change, inbox me your email address, and your phone number. I will call you personally, and I will put you on our list, and I will start sending you emails so you can stay updated on the other things that we're moving forward with. So sign the petition, please. Meetings Tuesday and Wednesday. Get your mind right and let's be ready. And we also want to let you know that we also have a new newspaper because we're moving into a place, the Carolinian. The Carolinian is a new newspaper because our News Argus, not my News Argus, the News Argus does not print proper information. They print a lot of propaganda. So we need our own voice. This is our opportunity to have our own voice. This newspaper goes all across Eastern North Carolina so we can connect with other cities and towns that are going through the same thing. We can connect and let them know what's happening there as they're letting us know what happened here, because it's going to take a bigger connection. So if we're going to pull down this thing nationally, everybody who don't like Trump, everybody who's tired of what's going on nationally, you got to start here. Because in our little Goldsboro connects with little Wilson, connects with little Kingston, connects with little Raleigh, and then they connect with the state, and then the states connect together. That's how it all started. So it starts at home. Get your head out the clouds and come back down to where you at and pay attention to the people around you. And it's going to take real sacrifice, people. Real sacrifice. So the Carolinian, you can also inbox me. From every subscription that we actually sell, we will get $5. That $5 will go towards a community fund. So everyone who inboxes me, we will be forming well, I'm already putting money in the bank. We have about 20 subscriptions. So in moving with that 20 subscriptions that's coming, we're going to take every $5 and we're going to put it in a community fund. So then we have funds to do the things that we need to do in our community, or at least to start. So as we are moving forward, we have to move past needing a grant. We need to move past needing other things, and we have to build self-sustainable resources. So this is the Carolinian, and you can definitely inbox me, please. My contact number is 919-221-5839. You can text me, send me your email, your information. We'll call you back within 24 hours. I promise you. We'll get you this information about how you can subscribe to this newspaper. It's only $35 a year. And if you would like to be a writer for this newspaper, we need writers. We need, if you do comic strips, we need you to step up and step out so we can build our own newspaper. We have an opportunity here, people, to get our own. Well, it's already here. You just need to subscribe so then we can push the News Argus out. So when we're talking about true boycott, they won't build bus shelters. I'm not riding a bus. You won't put stuff in our newspaper. I won't buy your newspaper. It's time to make some sacrifice. So I definitely appreciate all of you all's voice. And I want you to know that everything that we do and we say is to motivate you to be the leader that you need to be. Because it's all about you. I want everyone to know the power in your voice. So please, please speak up, speak out, and lead yourself into a new kingdom of righteousness. Thank you.